Okay, so we're being recorded this morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to this training. We're going to talk a little bit about Sway. Now, what is Sway? I think of Sway as Microsoft 365, a hidden gem application. It's a great application that a lot of people don't know about yet. As people learn about it, they really enjoy it. So Sway allows you to create, I would say, visually stunning documents, newsletters, presentations, and communications in just a matter of minutes. Now, I'm not a designer at all, but I was able to add some content into Sway, and I was able to make it look great. And so if I could do it, you certainly can do it as well. So today, I will show you the web version that comes with Microsoft 365. So let me just share my screen here. All righty. So we would just go out to office.com, and you can also go to sway.office.com. But first, I'm just going to go to office.com and click on my app launcher, and I will find Sway. So this is the landing page if you go to office.com, and I'm going to touch on this a little later. It'll show you that Office apps are going to be becoming Microsoft 365 apps. So if you go to Microsoft365.com, you'll see the new interface for all of Office. That's going to be coming up here, I think, in November. They'll be making that big announcement. But back to Sway. This is the landing page. If you click on Sway, you'll see we can start from a new document here. And here's some templates you can start with. But let's go to sway.office.com by clicking all Sways. So this is what I really consider the landing page of Sway. Here again, you can create a new document. You can, if I create a new document, let me go ahead and click on that. You can go right into a blank document. I can also start from a topic. So if I click on topic and here's some examples. So if I just type in dinosaur, like it says, dinosaur, if I spelled that right, and it'll look at Wikipedia, and I can create an outline based on what I'm searching for, okay? I can also start from a document. I'm going to show you that at the end. So if you have, let's say, a Word document, or it says a PowerPoint or PDF, it'll generate a Sway for you. What makes it nice is a Sway is a web page. So I will have a Word document. I will convert that into Sway, and then I can have a web page that's available for whoever I specify, like anybody in my organization or just anybody on the internet. So I can easily share a document. And here I can see the Sways that I've been editing, working on, any Sways that I've viewed, some analytics about certain Sways, and any that I've deleted, okay? There's also a place where you can start from a template. So these are good. This will show you kind of what all you can do with Sway. These are really nice templates, and you can scroll through these. There's a lot more out there. And here's, again, this starts you with the template, and I misspoke. These are get inspired by lessons in Sway. This is what shows you kind of what you can do within Sway to kind of inspire you. And again, you can scroll through those. So this morning, we're going to start from scratch, right? I'm going to create my own Sway from scratch. So I'm going to say create a new one. This is what's called a card. So I'm going to create a lot of different cards. My storyline is where I'll see my cards and I'll create my Sway. Then once I got that completed, I'll jump into the design view and kind of see what my Sway is going to look like. And then we'll go over the rest of these where I can play my Sway. I can share my Sway out. In fact, let me just show you those settings here. I can share my Sway. Only people in my organization can do it. I can see it, or I can do specific people or anyone with a link. Okay. And here is, I can edit my link, or sorry, I can allow people either to view or edit my Sway, and I can copy my link, and I can get a visual link. So if I click on that, I can have a little, a visual thumbnail of what my Sway is going to look like. And I can get the code to embed it on a web page, and here's some more options, okay? And then the three dots always means more options. You can duplicate this way. If somebody likes this, I can send that to somebody, or I can save it as a template, let other people use that as a template and edit my sway. And you can look at the rest of those. Okay. But first, let's just jump right into creating a sway. I'm going to title this one here. Let's just do, I'll introduce myself, Greg Kelly. I'll type some text in here and I'll say, who is this guy? Right. And then I could also add a background here. I could also emphasize, so I can make this in bold, accent is italicized, and I can also create a link here. So let me just go ahead and emphasize this. So now this is in bold, I can again italicize it if I wish. But before I do that, now that I've done that, let's go ahead and add a background. On the suggestions, I could pick from a group, like if I want to pick out animals or different background views, I can drop these down for suggestions. And I can upload it from my device. I'm gonna click on, okay, I got some on my OneDrive. And on my OneDrive, I have my pictures and everything under my training documents. Let's just imagine this is me. Back in the day when I had a full head of hair, evidently. So let me just add that picture as my background. Once I've added the picture, if I click on that picture, go to the details of that picture and click on it. Here's an option that says focal points, and I can add a caption to the picture, but I just want to do on the focus point. I could say the entire image is important, but I just kind of want them to see me. Here it shows you what it's going to look like on a web browser, on a computer, and here's what it's going to look like on a phone. So if I say I want from the top of my head just to maybe my a tie area here. So everything between that is going to be my focus point. I really want that to show up on my background, okay? Then I can close that and close this heading. So this is a heading. So after my initial card, let's add it, and this is how I can add my next topic. The suggestions, I can have another heading, text, image, stack, and upload. You can kind of go through these individually, but I was going to do another. Let's just do a text. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So in the text, I have some text on my Word document. I'm going to paste that in here. I'm going to copy and just show you I can copy and paste. And again, I can emphasize accent. This is how the emphasis is kind of subtle or something that's important, moderate. I'm going to say this is going to be moderate. This is, I want this to kind of stand out on my sway, okay? And the next thing I want to add, this, tells a little bit about myself. I'm going to add another heading. Actually, before I do that, let's do an image. I'm going to click on an image here. And I'm going to copy this text again. I could just type it in, but I'm just going to copy this, make something fun here. Greg hooping it up in his prime. So let me emphasize that, make this a little bit bigger, emphasize that on the page. And I could drag and drop an image in here, or I can click on this and then put that in here. So here I am hooping up, doing a little basketball. That whole image is kind of important. So I want to get the rim and the ball, basketball. So I'm not going to do any focus points on that. So that'll show the whole image. Now let's talk about how I ended up here at the university in my position. So I'm going to add another heading. And now I will say, how did I end up at this position that I'm in? I've introduced myself and how I ended up here. Emphasize this. This talks about the University of Missouri. So what I could do, I could actually search for something for the University of Missouri. So let's just change this to suggestions and go out and search for University of Missouri. It does a Bing search, right? And you can see this is Creative Commons, so it only shows me those. So these are uh, images that I can use in my presentation. And here's one of the kind of a fall color. Let's use that. So I'm going to add that one. And again, let me open that up because I do like that whole picture. So let's do the focus point. I want to say, yes, this entire picture is important. I want to make sure I see all that because if I didn't have that, it would kind of cut it off, but that's a pretty color. And let me, now that I said that, let me go back to this and check and make sure that this focus point, this entire image, see, it cuts it off if I don't say the entire image is important. Okay. Okay. So this is how I ended up at the university as a consultant trainer at the University of Missouri. Now let's show some training videos. And if I had some, I should have put some out on YouTube. So I can add any kind of YouTube video or anything that's accessible to everybody. So I'm going to go out here and do a video search. So I could go to media and let's add a video. In the text here, I'll just say, oh, training M365. And again, let's emphasize that, make this a little bit bigger. And on the video and the search, let's just look for M365 training. And we'll see what we find out there. Yeah, here's a guy I listen to. He does a good job. What does M365 explain? So I'm going to select that one, add it. So now they can watch this video. And let me put that as a full, let's put that as a full window that they can easily watch. And the last one I will show you is, let's do some photos. So again, if I go to media and pick on images, actually, before I do that, let me type in the word photo so you know what we're talking about. Let me talk a little bit about photos. Okay. And I will just say in my text below the photos box, I'll say, here are some photos of me throughout the week. They're not really going to be photos of me, but we'll imagine they are. Make that bold, make it a little bit bigger so you can see them. Okay, so here's some photos of me. So now I can just add whatever photos I would like. And I do that by click on the plus, and we're going to go to a group. And I could make it however I want, but I'm just going to say just automatic. We're going to automatically put those in there. I can add them here, or I can easily go to my OneDrive and just find my photos under my training folder, training documents. So we'll say that this, and this, and this, all these are me throughout the week. This is things that I do. Okay. And then I just drag and drop those photos. Now I'm going to close this up as that's dragging and dropping. And you can kind of tell each section. Here's my group. Here's my photos with that heading. Any heading is a break in the flow, in the sway, I should say. Okay. Now that I've got those, I can reorder these sections if I wish. Each of these headings, I can drag and drop them, but I kind of like the order I put them in here. Introduce myself a little bit by myself, how I ended up here, and then some pictures. So let's jump over to the design view. This is a storyline. I can click in the design view, and this is the design it has by default. It kind of scrolls left to right. That's a little different. What I could do is go into my styles, because I'm more one that scrolls down like most web pages. So I'm going to click on styles, and let's just change this to horizontal. Also, you can customize whatever the type of view you want, like who is this guy? I can do a remix, let it pick out kind of what looks good. I can scroll down here and see what I come up with. Like I said, this is just something that picks out. That looks pretty good. So my sway has been created. So what I could, let me show you one more thing down here at the bottom. This is a navigation. So if I click on this, it's based on each of the headings that I did, my heading insert. So I could jump into how I ended up here. And it goes right to that section. When I play this, this is what the end user will see on their page. So they'll see this, and you can kind of see how that kind of scrolls up here. I could have made that bigger. I might go back and do that. I made this full size on the emphasis, and this one's full size. I can just click on that. It plays the video. Okay, that's enough of that video. And then I can scroll on down and see here's some photos of me throughout the week. So now that I have that, and again, right now I can see this up at the top, there's edit. So if I need to go back and edit this, I can easily click on edit. And then I can edit my storyline. I need to go back to my storyline. And let's say that let's make this part a full page. Okay. And then if I play that again, and it's automatically saved. Oh, that was full screen. Okay. So now what I could do is once I that's the way that I like it, then I would hit share and I would get this link and then I would share that link out. So I could just copy this link. It says anybody in your organization. So I just copy that. I can go out to new page, paste the link in there, and it'll look like this for the people looking at it. And since I'm logged in as myself, I have edit access, right? But if I sent that out to you all, in fact, for you all on the call, let me just put this in the chat. You can see what that looks like. And since it's shared with anybody at the university, it'll make you log in. Let me change this to share with anybody with the link. When I do that, I can add it to Facebook and Twitter and everything. So let me just and you have view access. So let me just copy that again and put that in our into our chat. Okay. And down here again, you can browse. And then again, under settings, this is the default scroll. I can move it around and stuff like that I've showed you. Another nice thing about Sway is I have this Word document, and I mentioned this at the beginning. Let me go back to the very top of this and drag it over to the screen. I have this Word document that I work for it's my training sessions, right? My November training I have come up next month. So I made these. If I click on this, you'll see that I made these with headings. And the reason I did that is so I can make that into Sway if I want to. So there's heading 1. If I click on this, here's heading 2. So if you don't really usually use headings in like Word and stuff, it's good because not only can you use it in Sway, but you can easily create a table of contents. I could drop this down and I can change what my headings might look like. But now that I have this document in Word, I can easily go up here to File, and here's a transform feature. So if I transform this, it says transform this into a web page. It's going to use Microsoft Sway. So it took my file name, and here's some styles that I can choose from. Let me make that bigger so maybe you can see it better. Here's styles I can choose from. I like the one that it picked here. So I could just choose this one. It picks up the name, and it uses the different headings. And I can say, yeah, go ahead and transform that. I'm logged in as me. Let me show you what that does. It popped open on my other window here. Let me bring it over so you can watch it. It's going to ask me to log in just to verify it's me. And we will sign in and probably to do the multi-factor. And I was going to do me a Sway. So it took that document and it created a Sway page for me, right? So if I make this bigger, you'll see here's my training sessions. Here's the text that I had. All the headings will have, a different section here. The links are still, they can go right to that link to sign up for the class. So I could easily create a website and share that website with the university or anybody outside. Again, I can go here and edit. So let's say if I come back to the top, I can see what my cards look like, and I can easily add backgrounds and some graphics to my Sway. So that's the easy way to do it. And it works. PowerPoint is the same way. You can do it from PowerPoint. But that's just under File and Transform. So you can transform a PowerPoint or a Word document into Sway. Let me look over my notes and see if there's something else. Actually, my notes are right here on the screen. But Sway, like I said, to me, it's kind of a hidden gem. As people get in there and play with it, they really seem to like it. Remix. Yeah, and like I said, it's nice to get in there, experiment around with it. You can edit it, just kind of play around with it. Oh, one thing I did not mention, and which is really important. So here I'm in the Sway, and I'm in the view that the user will have. So this is the view the user gets, right? This is on the website, and if I shrink this down, let's say that it automatically adjusts for the size of your browser or your mobile device. So if I take this and shrink it, it automatically adjusts for that size of the window, right? I'm not cutting anything off. So I will know that this will also, I can make it really small here. And then I can just scroll it. So I'm not cutting anything off by changing the size. It's kind of harder to see these pictures, but just know if you use this on a mobile device, an iPad, or even a phone, a tablet or a phone, this will all still look good, as good as possible for the size of your screen. Okay. So I see our time's about up. Do you have any questions about Sway? I see, Veronica, you're the only one on here. Let me stop this recording. Well, let me see if you have any questions, because if there's something I didn't go over, I want to make sure to answer those questions for people on the recording. I see you're typing in the chat. Okay, thank you, Veronica. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about Sway, be sure to reach out. Let me just look, because a lot of the times, if you go to support.microsoft.com, there's training, and I just want to see if there's one. I should have looked at this. See if there's one for Sway, training options for Microsoft Training Center. If you scroll down. So this is a good place to get a lot of your applications, more Office apps. I want to see if Sway is mentioned as one of the, it's alphabetically here, I just noticed. Yeah, Sway's not on. Oh, yeah, yes, it is. So create a Sway, add text images. So here is training. This is Microsoft training for Sway. So you might check that out and see what that has. And you could also just, search, just do a search for Sway, Microsoft Office Sway, and see what kind of training other people are offering. But what I just showed you is kind of an overview, kind of help you get started. And I hope you guys enjoy Sway.